Do you think you've changed his mind?
I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. Look, I thought it was right to take the argument to him. I think voting makes a huge difference. I think the consequences of this election for families and family finances, who gets in, how we run the country, do we run the country for working people again, or just for the richest and most powerful, as I think it is under the Conservatives. I think there's a huge choice at this election, and you know, I think in a way politicians kind of often stay in their comfort zone and only talk to people who are engaged in politics. I think it's right to reach out of the comfort zone and talk to people who are saying, well, it doesn't matter, it's a waste of time. But that's what lots of people think.
There are, I mean, there seem to, obviously, massive amount of policies, massive amount of things you want to do should you become Prime Minister. But looking at the column inches, it seems that it's the economy and you as the person which are focused on the most. And generally, there are a lot of people who just don't see you as prime ministerial material. What do you say to them?
I think it depends what you want in a Prime Minister. Look, I've got big ideas to change this country so it works for working people again. I'll stick to my principles, and that means taking on powerful forces like the energy companies. So we're going to freeze energy bills till 2017, as you said earlier. And, you know, the energy companies don't like that, but I'll stick to my principles. It's also about decency. Things like the bedroom tax, you know, getting rid of some of those things which are really hitting people who, you know, who are the most vulnerable in our society. So I'm not trying to win the photo op contest, as the bacon sandwich photo showed. I think if I tried to win the photo op contest, I probably wouldn't win it. But I'm trying to win an election about how we change this country for working people again. It's about people and how we change things.
And going back to the economy, what do you say to those people that constantly argue that every time a Labour government's been in, it's been left in an economic mess?
Look, what I'd say is that there was a global financial crisis which happened in 2007, and that meant the deficit rose. But this government came in and promised to eliminate the deficit, and it hasn't. And look at what's happened, Amanda, to the living standards of people over this Parliament. 5 years of wages falling behind bills. Now, that's what I think we've got to turn around. My test of the economy is what's happening to the living standards of working people. And I think by that measure...
Incredibly low unemployment, though.
It is good there are more jobs, Philip. But I'm asking also what kind of jobs are there. I think lots of your viewers are asking that too. You know, a couple of days ago I was in Stockton, and a young man said to me, I'm on a 0-hours contract. You know, I don't know from 1 week to the next how many hours I've got, what wage I'm going to be earning. That's why we're going to ban those exploitative 0-hours contracts. So we do need more jobs. We also need jobs that are at decent wages so you can bring up your family, so you can pay the bills at the end of the month. But
the thing is that, as Amanda said, just picking up on this economy issue and the perception that you guys always leave us broke. The 1964 to 70, Labour lost the 70 election following a currency crisis, ultimately doomed attempt to stave off devaluation of the pound. 74 to 79, under Labour, unemployment level rate went up from 970,000 to 1.4 million. The rate increased from 3.7 to 5.3%. You guys were at the wheel when you crashed the car with all our economy in the boot. I mean, what you sold our gold off cheap? You know, are you any good with money?
Well, yes, and let me answer that directly. Look, there was a global financial crisis which led to a higher deficit. President Obama is still dealing with the consequences of that, as are countries all around the world. We got it wrong on bank regulation. We should have regulated the banks more. Actually, our political opponents at the time were saying we should regulate the banks less. So we've learnt the lessons of that. But, you know,
we're paying the price.
But I'm also proud that we invested in schools and hospitals, which your viewers are benefiting from, and we're going to cut the deficit every year. We're going to balance the books. I'm actually the first Labour leader going into an election saying we're going to cut spending. Outside key areas which we'll protect, like health and education, we're going to cut spending.